Hello guys, my name is Hugo. Today let's talk about real estate video productions, and this is gonna be our location. What is real estate video production? Photography has been and will be a very reliable marketing tool for selling properties, but pictures don't really share a real experience of being inside of the property, like video does. Video will never push away pictures, and there is no need for that. Video works as an addition. That's why in real estate videos, we don't have to show every single closet, or sometimes even we don't have to show every single room if it's not important. What you need for video is highlights of the house, the best parts of it. When we shoot luxury multi-million real estates like this house, we have to produce the product that will stand aside with beautiful pictures. And believe me, for those kind of properties, realtors always hire the best photographers because they don't want to take chances. In such real estates, views are really important. And that's why you have to push your camera abilities to the limits. High dynamic range is extremely important. Pictures have an advantage. They can be shot in multiple exposures and blended in one, or shot with flashlights to overpower interior lights against very bright exterior. But with right equipment, knowledge and techniques, we can achieve pretty impressive results. Let's talk about the equipment I use. So this is Canon EOS R, which is about $1,800 camera, and it has a Docina lens 11-16 f2.8 with autofocus, and it's very inexpensive lens. It's only $400. It's a 4K camera and it has a great image stabilization. That's enough for lifestyle shoots, but it's not enough for our purposes. That's why we need to use a gimbal. I have a Zoom Crane 2 that will do the justice just fine. The reason why I use gimbals and not Steadicam is simply because of ease of use, and because gimbals perfectly hold the horizon, and that's really important for our task. This is a great setup for starters. I've used this camera setup for a couple years when I started, and it still gets the job done. Just make sure you are shooting in flat color profile for achieving the highest dynamic range the camera can produce. There is plenty of decent cameras on this market these days, but for those cameras that work the best for shooting real estate, I'll have to make a separate video. For those who have been shooting real estate videos already and want to step up, I'd recommend this camera. This is a C200, and this is by far my favorite cinema camera, not only for real estate shoots. The body with accessories and memory cards will cost you about $8,000, which isn't cheap, but isn't expensive either based on what it's capable of. It shoots 4K up to 60 frames per second in RAW and delivers stunning 15 stops of dynamic range. In chase with famous Canon colors, you get amazing beautiful image. RAW is very important because it helps you to extend and push the dynamic range to the limits. Plus, usually RAW is at least 10-bit image, which helps with color accuracy. With this camera I can use any Canon glass since it has the standard Canon EF mount. In this case, again, I can use the Docina 11-16 and Sigma Art 18-35mm, which is about $1,800 lens. As you can see, I don't have to use the fancy glass here. More importantly is the camera sensor and high dynamic range. This camera will not fit and will not stand on a regular Zoom Crane 2. That's why I had to get the DJI Ronin S, which is about $600, and it works great. The reason why I don't get bigger gimbals like Ronin 2 or Ronin MX simply because this one is a lot smaller and takes less time to assemble. Plus I like the nature of holding this gimbal, the way I can distribute the weight, which means I can do a lot more work before I get tired. Drones. These days it's a must-have in real estate videos. Realtors want to show the property from above, how big is the lot, how beautiful the neighborhood, a proximity to the ocean, or whatever is important near the house. I have a DJI Inspire 2 with the X5S, but it's an overkill for the real estate videos. And again, it's all about the size. You don't want to carry too much equipment in your trunk. You don't want to take too much time assembling this equipment. I use DJI Mavic Pro 2 with a Hasselblad lens. This drone is amazing. Very easy to fly, has a lot of smart features like orbit when you perfectly fly a circle around the property, and it has many others. I don't use them often though, but it's good to have. It's a very small drone, doesn't take too much space, it keeps up even in a strong wind, and it delivers great 4K footage. There is no right or wrong what you'll start shooting first, drone or interior, living room or the bedroom. As long as you can put it all together on post, the order doesn't matter. I personally prefer shooting in order that's closest to the one I'm gonna put on the timeline when I edit it, simply because it'll save me time. And time is important. You don't want to spend weeks or even days delivering the video. Realtors always want this to be delivered as soon as possible. I usually deliver videos within 3 days after the shoot. There is no many camera movements in shooting real estate. They are all pretty simple and straightforward. Push in and out, pans, tilt up, tilt down, and combination of push-ins and pans. But they all have to be very smooth and unshakable. You have to keep horizon and verticals, since it's an architectural shoot. Real estate photographers always keep horizon and verticals straight, otherwise it will look awkward. Of course, for close-up shoots you can break this rule, but for wide angles it's better to keep it straight. Let's talk about the angles. As we've spoken already, I use 11:16 and 18:35. Real estate video doesn't mean you have to shoot everything in an extremely wide angle. Lots of video shooters get it wrong. Real estate video isn't about showing every single corner. It's about showcasing the best of the house has, showing the feel of it, the vibe, the features. Lately I use 18:35 unless it's very tiny space. Switching to 35mm I can get very tight close-up. If you see in the property something nice, unique, details, take a shot of it. If you don't know any special about the house, ask your realtor. Maybe something that looks normal to you can be very expensive or have its own uniqueness, like a rare marble that's used for countertops or some special wood used in the furniture. You'll be surprised how many cool things you can find. Using best equipment isn't always enough. Sometimes even cameras with 15 stops of dynamic range can get you enough. The thing is, the human eye can see about 20 stops of dynamic range. That's why when we take a picture of you from a home at the daytime, it's very contrasted. It's either too dark inside or too bright outside. But with eyes, we see everything perfectly fine. Very often, I face these issues when I shoot beach houses, houses with small windows or tunnel-like interiors. It's like to shoot out of a cave. Photographers take about 4 to 5 shots with a different exposure and merge them in one. I don't have the luxury to shoot video with multiple exposures, because in this scenario I have to repeat exact same moment every single time, which is impossible to do unless I have a cine robot. But I came up with a solution. What is video? Videos is pictures side to side moving with a speed of 24 frames per second. Time-lapse technique is basically taking pictures and putting them together in a timeline. What if I combine photographer's multiple exposure technique and time-lapse? I bought a motorized slider which I'm able to program for movements I need. I put my Canon EOS R, set in bracketing mode when it does 3 shots with a different exposure. The slider will trigger the camera and move it on the next shot. At the end, you're gonna have about 1,000 pictures for a 10-second video. You'll have to edit them in a Lightroom and put them together on a timeline afterwards. By doing this, you're gonna achieve about 19 stops of dynamic range, which is very close to the way we see with the eye. This way we will be able to see inside and outside, even when we're shooting in the cave properties. I hope this information today was useful for you. Hit the like button if you like this video or dislike if you didn't. Click on subscribe button if you want to watch more videos like this. Thank you for your time. Bye.